Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if this is your first time finding the channel. I haven't got a lot of videos done this weekend. Things have been a little bit crazy. We had to go buy a new washer and dryer a couple days ago, and then we hit a deer in our van, so trying to get that all taken care of. Just wanted to hop on and do a couple videos today. We do have a DCU, not really an update, just kind of a roundup of some things going on in the world of the DCEU. We've got Alan Ritchson came out and made some comments about a role he wants to play, and of course Zack Snyder's been doing the Zack Snyder thing. We're going to take a look at what he posted this weekend in regards to his DCEU, but we're going to kick it off. We're going to kick things off with this article that I just saw pop up from Screen Rant when I was looking up these articles 33 minutes ago. And it's titled, Adam West's Batman is the key to save James Gunn's DCU. I can tell you right now, it is not the key to save James Gunn's DCU. It's the key to destroy his DCU. Now, before I get into this article, my last few videos, I haven't been putting the articles up so you guys can read or follow along with them as you're watching. So let me know in the comments if you prefer me to put the articles up, or if you just want me to talk about the articles and read them and just give my take on it. It's a lot easier for me to edit the videos without having to put all the graphics on the screen and take screenshots of them and then edit them into the video. But let me know in the comments if you guys would rather me put them in. I will gladly do it. It's up to you. I'm making these videos for you guys. So let's dig into this. And at first, I'm just going to say my personal opinion. I think the DCU is dead, especially with the imminent sale coming of Warner Brothers to whatever company. The DCU, I don't feel, is going to be around anymore. That's why we only have James Gunn's pet projects that are coming out, and the only things that they have announced coming out in the future. But let me read this article. Let's get a few laughs out of this, and I'll just give my thoughts on it. So it says James Gunn's DCU is still trying to figure out its own take on Batman, which isn't ever going to happen because of the sale. And a colorful, lighthearted, comedic take like Adam West's Dark Knight could be just the key. Gunn's new DCU hit the ground running earlier this year with the blockbuster success of Superman. Was it really, though? But the real test will be whether the franchise can maintain this momentum. It has no momentum. The next step is to round out the Justice League with other iconic DC heroes. There's a Green Lantern TV show on the way, a Wonder Woman film in development. I don't believe that Wonder Woman film is still in development. And projects centered around more obscure characters like Clayface, Swamp Thing, and Sergeant Rock in the works. Okay, I don't know who wrote this. Ben Sherlock, published 34 minutes ago. It says Ben Sherlock is a tomato meter approved film and TV critic who runs a massively underrated YouTube channel, I Got Touched at the Cinema. Before working at Screen Rant, Ben wrote for Game Rant, Taste of Cinema, Comic Book Resources, and Babbletop. Alright, Ben Sherlock needs to go do his homework, because he's writing stuff that's not factual. A Swamp Thing is not in the works. Sergeant Rock was canned. It's not in the works. So stop telling people that things are in the works that aren't in the works. Wonder Woman movie is not in development. Quit trying to spew this agenda. None of that is happening. But the DCU is struggling to land on its version of Batman. Batman is the second most important DC character after Superman, and he's arguably even more iconic. But the DCU faces a few challenges in introducing its own Batman. The DCU's Batman has to fit in with the bright, optimistic world established in Superman, and he has to coexist with Matt Reeves' ongoing The Batman franchise. What does coexisting with the Batman franchise have anything to do with the DCU? Gunn has announced that the DCU's first Batman movie will be The Brave and the Bold, a dysfunctional father-son story about Bruce Wayne training his son Damian as Robin. The Flash's Andy Muschietti has been hired to direct the movie, but it doesn't yet have a working script, and it's been delayed while Reeves works on the Batman Part 2, because that's the only thing they got bringing them success. Clearly, DC is having a tough time figuring out how to integrate the Caped Crusader into the shared cinematic universe that includes David Cornswed's Superman, John Cena's Peacemaker, and the Justice Gang. I think Gunn & Company should look west for the answer to their Batman problem. This guy can't even write. The DCU's Batman should take inspiration from Adam West's campy 60s TV show. No. It should not. I think the DCU's Batman should take inspiration from West's Batman TV show. Batman ran for 120 episodes from 1966 to 1968, and it remained the longest-running live-action superhero show until Smallville came along nearly half a century later. The series was renowned for its campy tone, its catchy theme tune, and its tongue-in-cheek humor, and its overtly simplistic morality aimed at a young audience. Based on the story of Bruce raising sadistic young Damian Wayne, it seems as though the Brave and the Bold is going for the same dark, gritty tone we've seen in Reeves' The Batman, Zack Snyder's Snyderverse, and Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, because those things worked. But I think the DCU's Batman should go the other way and embrace the campiness of West's Batman series. No, that's not Batman. Okay, people don't want campy Batman. That's not... Warner Brothers has had so much success with Batman being dark. You'd think they'd actually have success with it being campy? No. Nobody's going to go see that, and you're going to alienate your audience anymore. Now, this is going to get some good laughs, because this guy should not be writing, because he is not able to be... this guy's clearly a James Gunn fan, and he's not able to separate himself from that to write this article, because he goes on to say, Snyder's Batman was a gun-toting murderer. And Reeves and Nolan have imagined what Batman would look like in the real world. But I've always thought that the more realism you try to bring to a story about a billionaire who dresses up as a bat to fight crime, the more you highlight the absurdity of the whole thing. What? West's Batman show had no interest in realism. It was basically a live-action cartoon with far-fetched gadgets, on-screen sound effects, and a very loose relationship with the laws of physics. It was under no illusions that Batman is a realistic character. It leaned into the ridiculousness of it all, but played it totally straight, and the DCU needs that. No. This goes on and on and on. I'm not going to keep reading this. This is nonsense. Guys, this is what the problem with the DCU is. That these people write these things. They don't have their facts. This is just an opinion piece. That's all it is. I'm not even going to waste any more time going over this. All I'm going to say is this is definitely not the route DC needs to go. But I do feel this is the route that James Gunn wants to go, because this is what James Gunn wants to do. He wants to make everything campy. He wants to make everything goofy. And he wants to make it this way. I can totally see this happening if the DCU was going to continue. But, like I've said before, it's not going to continue. Now let's hop into this Alan Ritchson article. Alan Ritchson did come out and confirm that he's had talks with the DCU. But not for Batman, but for a messier role. Says Alan Ritchson is being eyed for a role in James Gunn's DC universe. After having played Aquaman on Smallville and Hawk on Titans, the DCU's Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, may become the third outing for Ritchson in the superhero genre. And he's quoted as saying, yes, that's the conversation that I've been having with them, is like, I want to play somebody a little messier. And I told them, I said, if I'm going to do this, I described to them the kind of personality that I'd want to play, and what that would mean to their world. And I think it's something everybody wants to see right now over there. So yes, I want to play somebody a little dirtier than your typical clean-cut protagonist. Ritchson has for the longest time been a major fan favorite for the role of Batman in the DCU, as he has expressed numerous times wanting to take on the iconic role. However, in a Variety interview in August 2025, the action star opened up on how he and Gunn had talked about The Dark Knight, but he wasn't expecting to be playing Bruce Wayne in the franchise. And that's when he said, well, it's not rumor that James Gunn is a fan. He said it himself, and I'm a fan of James Gunn. Question mark. Absolutely. I don't want to mislead people. Words have been exchanged about Batman, but I strongly don't think that Batman is in my future. I do think there is something in my future with DC, and I would like that to remain true. So basically, it doesn't come out and say who he's going to play. It just says that he's expressed interest in playing a messier character. Again, my thoughts are he's not going to play anybody because the DCU is going to be dead. Okay, with whoever buys it, it's going to be a complete new reboot, or they're going to do the Snyderverse, or they're going to do something, but the DCU is not going to exist anymore. Now, with that being said, I do feel like Alan Ritchson would make a great Aquaman in a film universe, especially with these new pictures from this new project that he did. It gives me a very much vibe with the 90s comic Aquaman, when he had the long blonde hair and he had the hook for an arm. I would like to see that version with Alan Ritchson. I think that would be a perfect cast. But like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with the DCU. My thoughts are it's not going to be around anymore. So now let's get into this. Let's get in to see what old Zacky's been up to. What's the Snyder Man got for us today? Zack Snyder shares new Jared Leto Joker photo. Another DC tease drops. This is coming from Cosmic Book News. Zack Snyder has posted yet another DC throwback, this time releasing a fresh image of Jared Leto's Joker. The photo shows Leto in full Knightmare-era wardrobe, flashing a peace sign while holding an assault rifle, the chaotic energy that defines Snyder's version of the character. Snyder captioned the image, 50mm dream lens like a monochrome. It's another reminder of just how distinct Snyder's Joker really was, unlike any other live-action version. And that's true. That's really what I liked about this Joker that he casted when he used Jared Leto, was it was something we'd never seen before with Joker. You know, we'd had Heath Ledger, we'd had Jack Nicholson, we've had the goofy, we've had this serious Heath Ledger, but we never really had this chaotic, over-the-top, wild, menacing Joker. And that's what Snyder gave us. And, the whole drama with the Suicide Squad, a lot of his scenes were cut when they re-edited that movie. So we lost a lot of the scenes that he was in and what that character really would have been like. We got a little bit of a tease of it in Zack Snyder's Justice League in the Knightmare sequence, but Jared Leto never really got justice for that character. Goes on to say Snyder keeps dropping DC images. This Joker photo follows Snyder's recent run of Superman, Batman, Deathstroke, and Joker shots from his DC era. The posts aren't slowing down, and each one continues adding fuel to speculation as the future of Warner Brothers Discovery shifts again. Fans believe Snyder wouldn't be posting this much DC material unless something is moving behind the scenes, especially as Snyder has been with Netflix for years, and Netflix is now exploring a move to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. And I agree with that. Snyder only posts something if it has purpose and if something's about to happen. This is the same thing he did when, he announced that they were going to let him finish his version of Justice League. This is the same kind of thing that happened when the movement started, and now I feel like it's just ramping up and up and up and up and up and up and more. It says Leto's Joker still sparks big reactions. Whether you loved or hated Leto's take, it was undeniably unique. Absolutely, I agree. Snyder's Knightmare Joker, the long hair, smeared makeup, SWAT gear, and deranged calm remains one of the most talked about parts of the Snyder Cut. This new image showcases the version Snyder always wanted the world to see. Unhinged, dangerous, and theatrical. And he was all three of those things. Snyder has now posted multiple photos from the Knightmare sequence in rapid succession. Fans are calling it suspiciously well-timed. We were told everyone moved on from the Snyderverse, with Zack only interested in returning someday for The Dark Knight Returns, But the way he keeps releasing these images right as Netflix evaluates a Warner Brothers Discovery purchase has fans wondering if he knows something the rest of the industry doesn't. So that's what I have for this little DCU update, roundup of what I've got. Not a lot coming out. It is interesting, this picture of Jared Leto as a Joker. He is throwing up peace sign. I've seen a lot of theories online that people think that's Zack, teasing that he's going to make his Justice League Part 2. I don't know if it goes that deep. I think this is just... I think there's definitely something behind the scenes. I think Zack knows something. And I think he's just posting to rebuild that momentum and move it forward so when the sale goes through, whoever buys it, if they go with the Snyderverse, if it's Netflix, and they can make the big announcement that, hey, he's coming back and we're going in this direction for him to finish, and then we're going to have this universe running parallel as well. I think that would be great. I think it would be great if they would do the Snyderverse, keep Robert Pattinson, do the Batman, build his world out, make his world the DC universe going forward, and then you have your Snyderverse running parallel to that, and you make all the fans happy. That's what I would do. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Again, let me know in the comments also if you would rather me have the articles up here so you can read and follow along, or leave them out. Let me know. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate the support. If you haven't yet, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any other videos that I have coming out. You can also check out other DC content that I have here. And we will see you guys on the next video. God bless everybody. Hope everybody has a good week. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.